Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda Marsalis. Welcome to Heard It on the Shark. I'll be your show host, and Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area is your show sponsor. Heard It on the Shark is a weekly interview show that airs every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on the Shark 102.3 FM radio station based in Ripley, Mississippi. Then it's released as a podcast on all the major podcast platforms. You'll hear interviews with the movers and shakers in North Mississippi who are making things happen. I'll talk to entrepreneurs, leaders of business, medicine, education, and the people behind all the amazing things happening in North Mississippi. When people ask you, how did you know about that? You'll say, I heard it on the Shark. Heard It on the Shark is brought to you by the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area. We want you to get out and discover the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of the Mississippi Hills that are right in your backyard. And of course, we want you to take the Shark 102.3 FM along for the ride. Musical credit belongs to Hill Country Blues guitar legend Gary Burnside and the late great Buddy Grisham, playing Long Way Home from their album Acoustic Brothers, which was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
This program was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda with another episode of Heard It on the Shark. And today in Sun Bear Studio, I have with me my friend Randle Hall and my other friend Phil Koon, who are going to talk about the upcoming primary elections. You guys help me to help our Shark fans stay on top of what's coming, so I really appreciate that. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Phil is the Tippah County Circuit Clerk. And, you know, our Shark fans are listening from all over Northeast Mississippi. But whatever Phil says, would you say it's fair to say that most of the circuit clerks, it's the same story all across?
It is.
And Randle is on the Election Commission Board for the 1st District, and he's the chairman of the board. Is that right, Randle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And every county that's listening to us has that same system set up. There's an Election Commission Board.
Yes.
Kind of real fast, just explain what an election commission board is for.
Well, the election commission assists the circuit clerk in building elections, voter registrations, processing election, building an election, and election day operations. And we also do purging, where it takes deceased people off the voter rolls. And that's mainly what we do, is maintain voter rolls for the county.
Let's talk about this particular election that's about to happen, and then we're going to talk about what you just said about purging. So, Phil, why don't you start by telling us what is the election that's coming up and what is that date?
The election's date is March the 10th, and it's a congressional primary election. So when you go to the polls to vote March the 10th, you'll have a choice to vote either Democrat or Republican. And what we're voting on is U.S. Senate and United States House of Representatives.
Our U.S. Senate seat is held currently by Cindy Hyde-Smith, and our representative seat, which doesn't represent the whole of the state like Cindy does, but just this part of the state.
The 1st Congressional District.
1st Congressional District, and that is Trent Kelly.
Trent Kelly.
Is that going to be true for most everybody in Northeast Mississippi?
It is.
All right, so everybody listening probably under the Shark signal is going to be having the same pretty much election.
It is.
That is not till November, though. What are we doing in March?
We're doing the primary in March. The primary race will consist of just the Republican and Democrat Party. You got your other parties as like an independent party. They are automatically go to the general election, which will be first Tuesday in November the 3rd, I believe is when that date is for the general election.
And where there's multiple candidates, it just determines, like in the Democratic Party, we have 3 candidates running. It determines from the primary who's going to be on the November ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going to vote?
All the precincts in the county will be open. We have 21 precincts.
Okay, so all across Northeast Mississippi, wherever you normally vote.
That'll be where you go.
Okay, you go to that same place. And you're going to see 2 tables when you walk in the door?
Yeah, there'll be 2 tables, one Democrat Party table and one Republican Party table.
Do you have to be a registered whatever to vote?
Just a registered registered voter of Tippah County. They'll ask you when you walk in if you want to vote Democrat or Republican.
You can't do both.
You can't do both. And don't think we'll have a runoff election a month later, but in case it's a possibility that we could. If you vote Democrat in the first election, in the primary election, you will have to vote Democrat in the
Not in November. People get mixed up.
In
Not in November.
In the runoff election,
okay,
which will be a month later.
Okay, so if you picked up that Democrat ballot in March, a couple of weeks later there could be a runoff. You got to do a Democrat ballot again.
Yeah, you can't switch from a Democrat Party to a Republican Party in a primary.
Okay,
and go into the runoff.
The Senate seat is for the whole state of Mississippi, so it's real likely that there's going to be names on that ballot that you don't know.
True.
Can you tell me the names that are going to be on the Republican ballot on the U.S. Senate seat? Let's do that first.
Okay, you got Cindy Hyde-Smith right now on the Republican.
The incumbent, okay.
She's the incumbent, and she has one opponent, which is Miss Sarah Adaka.
Okay.
She's running against Cindy.
Okay, so there's 2 Republicans for Cindy Hyde-Smith's current seat. She has a Republican running against her. Are there any Democrats running against her?
On the Democratic ticket, you've got Scott Colum, Albert R. Luttrell, and Priscilla W. Teal.
Okay, so out of all those people, now the Colums are from the northeast part of the state. I honestly don't know the rest of those people. So, and I'm saying that only because you should do a little research before you vote.
You can get on the Secretary of State's website and pull up the elections that's upcoming, and it'll give you a list of everyone that has qualified for these offices. And you can do a little background check on them. I mean, it gives you a little information and history, where they came from, what they stand for, and what they represent.
But then the representative, Trent Kelly, let's go back to the Republican ballot. Is there another Republican running against Trent Kelly?
It is not. It's just Trent Kelly on that.
Okay, so his name will automatically come up in November on the ballot.
It will.
He won't have to beat another Republican. All right, but there are Democrats running against him. How many?
We've got 2 Democrats on the ticket for House of Representatives, Calvin Buck and Cliff Johnson.
If I feel like in November I'm going to vote for Trent Kelly, can I go in and vote for the Democrat I want to anyway?
In the March 10th election,
yes,
you can.
And then I could come back and vote for Trent Kelly in November.
That's true.
Let's talk, Randle, about purged, because you guys did a lot of work trying to get our voter rolls to be accurate.
The state election management system did an update on their system, and a lot of the addresses didn't match what was on the voter rolls for those people. So we had a mass send out of confirmation cards just to confirm your address, and we didn't have a lot of response in returning. So I'm going to say it was close to 75% that didn't return anything. If you receive one of those confirmation notices, look at your voter registration card and make sure those addresses match. And if you're concerned, please call the circuit clerk's office.
Give us a phone number.
662-837-7370.
And again, Shark fans, that's Tippah County. You need to look up your circuit clerk. I bet our circuit clerk could tell you all the other ones too, if Alcorn County or Benton
no
County.
Trouble at all.
And if you come in on March 10th to vote and your name has been purged from the rolls, you still can vote, but you have to vote affidavit, and they have to check and make sure it's right.
Yes.
Tell us that phone number one more time.
662-837-7370.
Tell us one more time. It's going to be, Phil, what date and what times?
For the election day, it'll be March 10th. Polls open at 7 and they'll close at 7. And another thing, we'll have absentee ballots available the 26th, next Monday, in the circuit clerk's office for people voting absentee.
We are actually recording this on January 22nd, and it's being broadcast on February 10th. So they're out there. They can go vote now, absentee if they need to, right now. They'll be in the window.
They will be.
All right, what else do we need to talk about?
We're always in need of election workers to work on Election Day. If anybody's interested in working the election, it pays pretty good. It pays for training for every year that you're an election worker, and it pays for the days that you train and the days that you work on the election. And we're meeting February the 17th. It'll be on a Tuesday at the Tippah County Fairgrounds. We will have a morning session beginning at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then an afternoon session for those that work and get off at 5:30 to 7:30.
Thank you both for coming in again and keeping us up to date on what we need to do to vote right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Okay, Shark fans, this has been Randle Hall and Phil Koon in Tippah County, and that's it for this edition of Heard It on the Shark. You can tune in every Tuesday at 11 a.m. to see what's going on with other local community leaders like Randle and Phil. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion for an interview, or if you want access to this interview, you can find it at our website, shark1023.com, by clicking on the podcast tab. Keep it tuned to the Shark 1023 and have a great rest of the day.
The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area was established by the United States Congress in 2009 and represents a distinctive cultural landscape shaped by the dynamic intersection of Appalachian and Delta cultures. This intersection has produced a powerful concentration of nationally significant cultural icons, including King of Rock and Roll Elvis Presley, First Lady of Country Music Tammy Wynette, blues legend Howlin' Wolf, civil rights icons Ida B. Wells Barnett and James Meredith, America's favorite playwright Tennessee Williams, and Nobel laureate William Faulkner. The stories of the Mississippi Hills are many and powerful, from music and literature to Native American and African American heritage to the Civil War. The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area supports the local institutions that preserve and share Northeast Mississippi's rich heritage. Begin your discovery of the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of our region by visiting the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area online at mississippiHills.org.